First of all, I understand and I appreciate the intent, Assemblyman, I really do, to make life easier for our municipalities in submitting and for permit applicants in submitting documents. I think it's great, and I think it's definitely the way of the future, so I appreciate your overall intent for that. I'm a small businessman and I'm a homeowner, so I deal with submitting things, okay, and the easier it can be, certainly the better. Also was a member of the zoning board, planning board, and a councilman, so I've seen the impact on the communities and the residents when we have these wonky systems and processes that don't make too much sense. So I appreciate the overall intent. I do have some very large concerns. One of the biggest ones is going to be cost. It made it through the entire session without any relative cost, and those costs will ultimately be borne by somebody. In this case, it will not be the municipality, so we can get around the unfunded mandate portion, but it will ultimately be either the business or the individual applicant. So somebody will bear the cost of this, and we're essentially giving a state agency the ability to determine with a blank check how much that will be, and that really scares me. Also, municipalities are not cookie cutter. There's differences by municipality to municipality and how they do things and how they submit things. So it's very difficult to develop a statewide system, I would imagine, that can cater to all their individual needs. And many municipalities already use software systems that handle and track permit fees and inspections. They've bought and paid for these things. They've made investments. They've spent years, like Mine Hill as an example, one of the municipalities in my district, has spent years converting their paper records to digital records within a system that they currently have and have bought and paid for and done the legwork with. It concerns me to allow a state agency to develop a system that ultimately the municipalities or the residents will have to use versus a system that they have come to like, enjoy, and that works well for them. So I really believe that we should allow the municipalities to choose their own software. I agree with the intent that we need to get to a better, fairer way of doing things that can streamline stuff for businesses and for residents. However, I would be much more in favor, and maybe this is something that we can work on after this is moved out of committee today, to allow the flexibility to municipalities to get software of their choosing that can meet parameters to send stuff to the state in a format that is acceptable by the state. I'd much prefer that, and that would give the municipalities the flexibility to innovate the way that they want. Because quite frankly, our municipalities, you know, they are unique and they do innovate, and we do find best practices by that. In fact, every year the state requires municipalities to submit a form with best practices that they apply across the state. So there's a mechanism to find the software or multiple different versions of software that will allow for the non-cookie cutter nature, but also accomplish what you're looking to do. So I would really like to see some more flexibility put into the bill. That would be my hope, and I'd be happy if you would allow me to talk with you more about this before it ultimately becomes law, which allows freedom to the municipalities so that we're not forcing them to conform to a state system, which I'm concerned may be overbearing in cost potentially and may not be what serves the municipality or the resident the best. I'm going to vote no for now, and I'd like to work with you if I could in the future, sir.